Hiya, welcome back to the Mr. Media channel. However, you can call me on your own. And before I get started, I'd like to thank you guys for over 800 views last video. It's my second most popular video, and that is nutty. And to fulfill the promise I made in said video, I am going to go over my old dating sim video. That's right, buddy, the sequel that you've all been waiting for. And that video was also not good. Granted, I used my own voice in this video, meaning that the pacing is a little better, but everything else is worse. Firstly, I didn't have a microphone back then, and while this microphone isn't the best now, considering that you probably heard the noise that I just made by tapping the table, it's still better than the gaming headset that I stole from my brother in order to record the video. But on top of that, the music is also way too loud, drowning out my voice completely. Honestly, the sound mixing is on par with Joshua in the Promised Land, but at least that film was funny to laugh at. This is just mediocre.
No! No!
But whatever, stuff like poor sound mixing and lack of microphone can be excused, at least a little bit. Everything else is pretty bad, so let's just dive into the ball pit, shall we? Here, Mr. Here, and video games, what are they? I personally think that they're experiences that cannot be experienced by a simple movie or book. Okay, this definition is technically not false, but it's still not the objective definition. According to Merriam-Webster, a video game can be described as an electronic game in which players control images on a video screen. And while it's pretty bare bones, it actually goes into what makes a video game work, while my definition doesn't. On top of this, books and movies are not simple, easy things to work on. They may be easier than making a video game, but they're still not easy. Trust me, I've made like school movies before, and while they were bad, they were not easy. And I've written stuff before. Again, it may have not been good, but it's still not easy. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, you see, what if I told you that there's a genre out there that's so pointless, so dumb, and somehow more sex-filled than the furry scene? What if I told you that there are games out there that only the desperate and YouTubers would want to play? Again, me being a purist and a perfect display on how god-awful the mixing is. And why did I use Portal 2's Reconstructing More Science? I mean, it's a good song, but it's also pretty loud, at least compared to my voice. On top of this, while YouTubers and desperate people do play these games, you don't need to be either of them in order to play these games. Nor is it a moral feeling to be either of these. Well, most of the time anyways. Also, just because dating sims don't require you to be good at video games doesn't mean it's dumb. Well, I'll tell you the name of this wretched genre, because it goes by two names actually. The visual novel / dating sim. Yes, that's right. Today I'll be talking about how these types of games are so bad that they make me sick. Firstly, dating sims and visual novels aren't bad. I think calling it wretched was uncalled for. Secondly, I think the make me sick part was an over-exaggeration, but if not, that is pathetic and only 2 steps away from little kids going ew because 2 characters kissed in a movie. Starting off with, number 1, they're practically just books. Now, I know that these games are literally called visual novels, but you see, here's the problem, because these games can easily be put into either a physical book or uploaded online as a webcomic. Yes, younger me, they could have done that, but they didn't, because the whole point in a visual novel is that you can choose your own path. You know this because you played Blush at one point in your life before stopping because you got scared someone was gonna do a Lumen and screenshot you playing the game to shame you in front of everyone. But that doesn't mean you get the right to shame people who play these games or shame the developers for making them. The only excuse these games have have to be an actual video game is that you may have the chance of picking your own path, which is a dumb excuse because RPGs and many other genres of games have this kind of thing too. Speaking of two. May, mate, that's the entire point. On top of this, other genres are infinitely more difficult to develop, especially games like RPGs and platformers, which I know is your favorite genre because that's my favorite genre and we're the same person. On top of this, not everything needs an excuse or explanation. Why is Pac-Man yellow? No one cares. Apparently it has to do with Legos, but that's not important. Also, that transition is corny. Sorry. Number 2, these games are just not fun. Now I know that statement is a personal preference, but I personally think that these games are so boring. It's like taking the text part of Pokemon games, where it's a never-ending wall of text, and make that the entire game. Just say you don't like reading! On top of this, unlike Pokemon games, some dating sims and visual novels have voice acting, so your point doesn't even make any sense. You can remove the pictures and it'd be no different than the text adventure-based games back in the fucking late 70s, where the fact that it was text-based was the most revolutionary part of the game. No, it would not be like those text-based adventures because the visuals add a lot of context. They're the reasons why they're called visual novels. On top of this, no, the text part wasn't the most revolutionary part of the game. Shockingly enough, you knew this then and you know this now. Oh, games in the 70s may have been primitive compared to what we have today, but for fuck's sakes, Space Invaders came out in 1978. Except now, it has no excuse because these games are made in the 21st century, where programming and technology as a whole is way better than the stuff in the 70s, and it just keeps getting better. You know, for someone who is playing the original Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast, granted on an emulator, but still, it's not Sonic Adventure DX, it's not one of the modern Sonic games, it's Sonic Adventure 1, you sure do sound like one of those graphic chuds who scream more polygons, more FPS, more realism. Speaking of the gameplay, why did you show the very beginning of the game instead of in the middle of the footage? Because half the footage you used were just cutscenes, and I know you had more than just that because you uploaded it onto YouTube. So, at this point, you may think that we're done, but no. We still have one more point to go. And that is number 3. Well, most of these games are made with the purpose of getting your rocks off, which is fucking sad, because these games, as well as websites, have a paper-thin precaution to make sure kids don't go on their website but just saying, "Are you over 18?" with no way of checking that they are. Oh no! Pornographic material! Sex! Whatever shall we do? Quick! Revive the Benford movement and call everyone who isn't a Christian heterosexual a deviant, including the asexuals. Also, again, with the fucking we need to ID verify on our website's opinion. I want to kill this motherfucker! But sadly, that motherfucker was me. I am that motherfucker. And last time I checked, suicide is bad. It's not very good. And that it's so fucking easy to just find porn everywhere in general. Just go on Twitter. And even if you have your age as a minor, you'd still see it basically everywhere. It's making the porn addiction crisis even more widespread, because as it's so easy to just find this kind of stuff. It's preying on lonely people to play these games just to feel something. It's sickening. To be fair, porn addiction is bad, but so is ID verification, and on top of that, it should be on the people themselves to try and better themselves. Because if you're an isolated person with nothing better to do except jerk off and cry at night because you feel like you're wasting your life away, then no amount of barriers will stop you from looking up Umbreon X Vaporeon pornography. So if you're struggling with addiction, like at any kind, not even just porn addiction, then I wish you the best of luck. You're not a failure and you deserve better. I believe in you. This has been Orion. I'm not sure when I'll upload again, but I wish you all a fantastic day. Ah!